kàkàtà ló sọ. Ta ló sọ pé kò sí lọ? Ta lẹni tó sọ pé kò sí lọ́wọ́? Aláàjì kékeré orí ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀. Ta ló sọ pé kò sí tó? Ó yá kò sóhun tó lè tí kì í dà o. Ìbẹ̀yìn àdára mo róye.
Recently, Dr. Henry Akinduro, the chairman Total Grace Group, was installed as patron Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, Oyo State Council. The colorful investiture attracted prominent Nigerians, among whom was the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Rauf Olaniyan, Chairman Oyo NUJ, Comrade Demola Babalola, the representative of Oludare Akande, founder American Polytechnics, Dr. Akin Adetola, the chairman Agape Oil and Gas, Pastor Biodun Pasheda, Mr. Oluwaji, Prince Jide Kosoko, Dele Odule, Peju Ogumola, Director of Finance, Total Grace Group, Biodun Adu, Total Grace Group staffs, members of Oyo NUJ Council, friends and family. Akinduro, a medical doctor turned businessman, cautioned newsmen against promotion of fake news, which he said was dangerous to the community.
That journalism is not all about news. We must verify information about news very well as a journalist before we display them. Because the people so trust the information from the media to the extent that if we tell them that the state government have declared that nobody should go out tomorrow, even they don't see the state government. If they see it on TV, see it on media, nobody will come out. So that means fake news is dangerous to the community.
Journalism is not all about news. We must verify information about news very well as a journalist before we display them. Fake news is dangerous to the community, and the most information I want to pass across today is to make sure that all journalists verify the information very well before they display it.
My advice for the NUJ, just as I said in my speech, is to make sure that when they are delivering their duty, they deliver with professionalism, in which they make sure they verify information very well before they display it. Also, I want them to be the pilot that will let us know 2023 is by the corner. Now let the community know the details of all the candidates in order for us to be able to select the right person as our leader this time around.
He also called on journalists to do more on the security challenges, benefiting the nation, urging them to always promote victory of Nigerian military over bandits and terrorists. According to him, a situation which promotes more of the victory of the military over incident that happens through Boko Haram and bandits, I think will help a lot.
For the insecurity in Nigeria, our military are trying, but I think their effort is not enough. In the area of NUJ, I'm sure NUJ can contribute a lot by making sure that we have information about the situation that is going on so that will help our military people to be able to fight the insurgency.
Akinduro thanked the union for appreciating its contributions to the society, promising to do more for the union and humanity.
I can but thank the leadership of the union for the honor being conferred on me by making me the patron of Nigeria Union of Journalists. It shows that God is helping us in our group to contribute to the society. It is important to say this because individuals who define themselves as a journalist must work by a code of ethics, and the ethics of journalism require journalism acts with integrity. This principle ensures while also promoting the free exchange of information. So, a group of people born by principle will naturally navigate and can easily identify and work with integrity. A man or a woman who is hell-bent on the nation built and value human well-being cannot be unnoticed. So, I really appreciate you for the time you have spent to study me and to find me fit for this position. Thank you very much.
Earlier, the NUJ chairman, Comrade Demola Babalola, acknowledged Akindoro's service to humanity, which he said was a hallmark of the present administration in Oyo State. He described the Ondo-born businessman as a God vessel who had continuously propagated the ideals of a typical Yoruba man. According to him, our new patron is not the richest or wealthiest Nigeria today, but he is wired with the spirit of attending to the needs of the people everywhere.
A man as Dr. Henry Akinduro is rare in our climb these days. Let's appreciate God for the celebrants, please. It's against this background that journalism pays to sustain, to pay attention to the coverage of ideas, policies, programs, and events dealing with the improvement of the life of the people. When the philanthropic activities of the celebrant of today, the journalism latest patron in NUJ, Dr. Akinduro, was brought to the union's notice, we wasted no time on conducting a discreet investigation, but we have many money bags. We have billions all over the place. But when you search, and you research faithfully, and you profile their antecedents, many of them are not to be called human beings. The way they came about their wealth, ill-gotten wealth all over the place. But this man before us, you can see him, is a devout Christian, he's a lover of Christ, he's a man who God has chosen to lead this generation in the area of giving to the haves and the have-nots society. You are welcome, sir. For emphasis sake, our new patron is neither the richest nor the wealthiest Nigerian today, but he is wired with the spirit of attending to the needs of the people everywhere he goes. From Ondo State, his hometown, to the neighboring states in the southwest Nigeria, especially Lagos and Ibadan land. Akinduro's hand of fellowship rings true. Everywhere you go, he gives on a monthly basis, he gives Okada, Kekemarua, and support to people, artisans all over the place on monthly basis in Ibadan. I've witnessed like 3 of them in the last 6 months or thereabouts. Can you appreciate this man for me, please? He's a God vessel propagating ideas of a typical Yoruba Omoluabi. He comes across as a devout Christian, having had deeper life background as a staunch worshipper of Christ for decades. Today, he gives to many churches according to what God has deposited in his hand. A man relatively from a very humble background who barely tasted any trace of quality life in the beginning of his life because he was raised and brought up in a very poor home where living was so difficult and schooling was almost a non-existent. Therefore, having role models for him became so dear and readily unavailable. But through dint of hard work, perseverance, and absolute trust in God Almighty, Akinduro set forth early in life, taking his destiny in his own hands. He never let his background to affect what he could achieve early in life and struggled through to break the jinx and conquered poverty head on. His interview in the front page of today's event program attests to the fact that Akinduro is for anybody willing to spring surprise in life and break even, notwithstanding your background, you must be able to read of attributes and quality life that people who have been successful in life have passed through in their sojourn on the earth planet. I recommend the interviews of Dr. Akinduro. One of his friends, Pastor Abiodun Paseda, and that of his closest aide, and now the director of finance, Total Grace Group, Mr. Abiodun Adu, as a must read for people willing to break us in life. By our standard, Akinduro's life is full of lessons for nowadays kids who daily seek to become billionaires overnight without minding how those successful businessmen navigated the ocean to break through in life. With today's investiture, Oyo NUJ, being a Presidential Council in the media fraternity, has scored another first by recognizing this young, amiable, and wonderful man of honor as our patron. Just last year, Governor of the State, His Excellency Makinde, was inaugurated as the Grand Patron of NUJ. the duo of chairman CEO Ilaji Hotels and Sport Resort, Engineer Dr. Sanusi, and the US-based tax consultant and globally acclaimed boardroom guru, my dear brother, who is the founder of the American President of Nigeria, Dr. Dara Konde, was also honored with the Patron Award of the NUJ. The trial and others, two names not to mention, have been major financial and backbone of our success stories in the last 15 months. Pages 28 and 29 of the magazine is enough for you to know what God has done through us, through these Nigerians who have been supporting the NUJ cause in the last 15 months. Dear patron, Dr. Akinduro, we want this occasion to be remarkable. I'm addressing you now, sir. We want this occasion to be remarkable and unprecedented in terms of the seed. I know in Christendom you sow seed. When you sow seed, you reap later in life. So I want you to please sow seed in NUJ today to affect the union positively and members generally.
For today's event, we have brought before you a man so passionate about humanity, an unrepentant philanthropist, a workaholic, a trailblazer, a shining star, an honest, God-fearing, diligent, and wonderful personality.
A man so passionate about humanity, an unrepentant philanthropist, a workaholic, a trailblazer, a shining star, a honest, God-fearing, diligent, and wonderful personality, and a bridge builder and distinguished Nigerian. You are welcome, sir.
The young man standing before you, an enigma, if you like. Dr. Henry Mobolaji Akinduro, an eminent businessman and philanthropist par excellence. He was born in Ondo State. He started his formal education at St. Paul's Primary School, Oloson Village, Ondo State, before moving to St. Andrew's Secondary School, Ondo, also in Ondo State, for his secondary education, where he had his vision to become a medical doctor. Despite his poor background, his determination to succeed in life led him into the Federal Polytechnic, Ado-Ekiti, bagging National Diploma in Electrical and Electronics Engineering. However, before he finished at the Federal Polytechnic, Ado-Ekiti, he was offered to read medicine at the University of Ilorin. His thirst for more education and to fulfill his childhood dream saw him graduating in medicine and surgery from the University of Ilorin. Before his graduation, his foray into business began, during which he was known more as a businessman than a medical student while he was in school. Really prepared him, and that really prepared him for what he is today. Not ready to work with his stethoscope, I wondered why, but then I think we know why now. Young Akinduro moved headlong into business, where he has made a name for himself. Starting from what can be described as from the scratch and family, which he himself said is wretched, Dr. Henry Mobolaji Akinduro today sits atop many companies under Total Grace Group within and outside Nigeria. The subsidiary companies include Total Grace Support Investment Limited, Total Grace Transport Limited, Total Grace Property Limited, Global Signature Hotel and Resort. I thought class would be resounding by now. Global Beauty Resort Limited, Total Grace Oil and Gas Investment Limited, and Total Grace International Trading LLC in Dubai. All by a medical doctor. Dr. Henry Mobolaji Akinduro, a philanthropist who has touched and still touching lives. Dr. Akinduro is happily married to a God-fearing wife, and they are blessed with lovely children. One of his friends called him an unrepentant philanthropist. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our dear patron of the day. A round of applause.